So, I want to welcome up here Phelim McAleer and McElhaney. We had them speak a couple of years ago at the conference that I just mentioned to you with their previous film called Mind Your Own Business. It was fantastic. So when I heard them talking about this film, I was very excited and wanted to bring them out here. So I'm really pleased. I'll turn the microphone over to them.
It's very, very, very nice to be here, and I think just looking at this group, it's a great testimony to how angry a lot of you must be at living in a state that has a reputation for talking a lot of nonsense. We always start, when we speak to people, describing ourselves as recovering Europeans. Until about 4 years ago, I was as liberal as Nancy Pelosi, which is the most awful thing to describe yourself as. And what converted me from that position was learning about environmentalists and learning about their plans for all of us, and learning a little bit about what they thought about human beings, which is that they don't really like human beings very much at all, and their plans for us are terrible. They think that there are too many people in the world. As I say, have you been to Australia? You know, the idea that there's too many people in the world is extraordinary. We don't want to say much because the film tells a lot, and I think at the end you're going to have loads of questions. The only thing I would say is that the main reason we got into this film was through the DDT story, which some of you probably know, the Rachel Carson story, the reason we're here in this place. And I just wanted to share a thought with you. I get very emotional about the DDT story. You know, because it's, I can't believe how casual people can be about the deaths of children. I mean, it's just extraordinary that, and there's a racism involved in it. Actually, there's so many things involved in it. We're so casual about the deaths of black children in Africa. It's just amazing. And it's amazing who is casual. This is liberals. It's meant to be their big thing, loving blacks, you know. And it's quite odd that they're very cavalier about that. And they're very casual about that. And they talk so casually about saving trees and saving blue ticks, and I don't know what else, and worms that we've never heard of, and they miss the child in front of them. And just extraordinary. And we came to this story through the DDT story, which, and amazing, and I'm so happy we're here in a place called the Rachel Carson School, and one of the things I hope we do with this film is to remove the name of Rachel Carson of every educational establishment in America, of every life. And the amazing thing that people don't know, you know, a lot of liberals aren't bad. They just don't know. It's a story that was never told. And that's why I think we're really excited we get to tell it. And I just want to read. Sorry. The National Geographic, which is, you know, not a place you would hope to find truth about a lot of things, did a story last year about malaria. And I was so interested because I thought, are they going to be truthful? Are they going to mention DDT? Because so many times the media don't even mention DDT. They don't even mention it. They think they can talk about malaria and not even mention it. And anyway, look it up. It's very good, even for the National Geographic, but it ends with this extraordinary thing. And another reason that it's amazing to be in San Francisco, I'm sorry, Bill Gates, who is just up the road, has the Millennium Project, and he talks about malaria, and I think that's marvelous. But he never mentions DDT, and shame on you, Bill Gates. I mean, shame on you for that. And I want to read this end. He talks about bed nets. Bed nets is 19th century. We're not in the 19th century anymore.
Bill Gates doesn't have bed nets in his house.
Yeah. He should try the bed nets in his house before malaria. But anyway, here's how the National Geographic ends this story, and I just think it's great. So, and I'm shaking. I'm so upset about it. When it comes to malaria, only one thing is guaranteed. Every evening in the rainy season, across much of the world, Anopheles mosquitoes will take to wing, alert to the odours and warmth of living bodies. A female Anopheles needs to drink blood every 3 days. In a single feeding, which lasts as long as 10 minutes, she can ingest about 2.5 times her pre-meal weight. In human terms, the equivalent of drowning in a bathtub-sized milkshake. If she happens to feed on a person infected with malaria, parasites will occupy the blood. 2 weeks later, when the mosquito flies through the open window of a mud hut, seeking her next meal, she'll be loaded. Inside the hut, Bill Gates. That's mine. I didn't say that. Inside the hut, Bill Gates, a child is sleeping with her sister and her parents on a blanket spread out over the floor. The family is aware of the malaria threat. They know of the rainy season's dangers. They've hung a bed net from the ceiling. But it's a steamy night, and the child has tossed and turned a few times before dropping back to sleep. Her foot is sticking out of the net. The mosquito senses it and dips down for silent feeding. I just think it's extraordinary for people who live in such a wonderful place as Seattle, with so many with everything that this world has to offer. I mean, every last thing. In a marvelous place like this, that Bill Gates can be casual and can talk about bed nets, and talks and talks and talks passionately about malaria, and doesn't mention DDT, which according to the WHO, the World Health Organization, is the cheapest, safest, most effective way of preventing malarial deaths. And that's where you live.
Should let the film speak for
I'm
ourselves.
sorry.